everybody to AlexNav.com, where we're going through the best video games of 2015, and we got the best indie game of 2015 up right now for you guys. Tristan, do you play a lot of indie games?
Not a ton. The only one I can really consider indie game is probably Rocket League.
That would be an indie game, absolutely, yeah.
Plague of Shadows?
What's that?
Plague of Shadows? You played that?
I didn't play that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rocket League, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Rocket League, which is an awesome game that was free, luckily for people or not luckily, but free for people in the beginning, so a ton of people got access to it, and it blew up huge. So a lot of people watching might think, well, that's a huge popular game. Still, but it's an indie game nonetheless.
It's kind of comparable to last year with Shovel Knight. Really small indie game, and it got really popular really
They got an
quick.
amiibo coming out for it now.
Then it launched onto every system, and you get exclusive characters. Got Kratos with PS4 and whatchamacallit with Xbox.
You also got to play Party Hard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did play Party Hard.
Yeah, don't forget about the little secret game.
Which I probably enjoyed it a little bit more because that was more up my alley.
Simulating a murder.
Because you like to.
I'm into that kind of stuff. No, because I've watched
Dexter,
and I've read all the Dexter books. I'm really in. I find that stuff intriguing. You can find CSI stuff intriguing also, I suppose. But yeah, Party Hard was a fun.
Yeah, a little surprise, neat.
Fun game. It's addicting because if you die one time, you're like, I can do this. Come on, and eventually you know what you have to do. You kind of get like, well, that'll take that out, and look at the dominoes. You have to lay them out in the right order, and after a while, you can kill everyone.
Yeah, like in one stage there was a car, and then I started a Congo line, and so all the people
That
started coming
was awesome.
down for the Congo line, and I started the engine on the car, and it ran over all the people, and I got 15 kills right there, which is, it's kind of neat to trigger all those things, and they switch them all up on you too, and
I mean, you don't have to do that. You could just be
stab away.
stealthy and try and get someone's attention, bring them into the other room and kill them, throw them in a garbage can, whatever.
Bust out your dance moves to scare them away, dude.
Yeah.
Feed them to the fish, dude. Feed them to the sharks off the edge. Undertale also came out this year, which was RPG.
Yeah, it's hard to root against Undertale.
Dude, it's so hard to root against that game. It has just so much for it. All this little, intricate stories and stuff. I had to push past it, but when I first started playing it, I didn't realize how deep it was. I didn't look into it. I just picked it up and started playing it, and I'm like, oh, typical RPG, and then, cool battle system, and retro feel to it. And then, I'm not getting the XP, I'm getting all confused. I'm like, why am I, and then you start digging into it, and it's like, wow, there's all these layers to this game, and it brings back a ton of nostalgia. And, there's a lot of depth to each individual character in there, and it's made by one dude, or?
I don't know. I think it's a team.
Yeah,
it's just got amazing music. And
oh, I forgot about
maybe
the
it's
music.
one,
Yeah, dude, the music is really good, and just the detail into it. And then, what else do we have? Axiom Verge this year came out.
Yeah, that's a one-dude game.
A Metroidvania style.
I did play a little of that. I didn't get too far, but I was impressed that this one guy created everything, the actual game, the music, everything. Kind of impressive, that one.
Yeah, that was such a cool game. I really liked that game. But then came SteamWorld Heist.
SteamWorld Heist has ruled my life for the last few days, dude. I can't stop thinking about it, dude. And it's that's another one that came out of nowhere. Again, don't know how I missed it, don't know how I didn't hear about it, but thankfully I have you around me to show me all these games I can spend all my money on and become poorer. But it's a strategy game with the same style as SteamWorld Dig. If you guys have played that, it's been on the PlayStation Network several times for discounts, and I think Xbox too. So, but it's robots and explosions and
turn-based
strategy game, and dude, just the
Angry
music
Birds.
is cool, like Angry Birds, dude. I don't know why I related it to that, but it is you just because in Angry Birds you aim your thing and you bounce shots and you gotta bounce bullets and loot. Oh my gosh, I feel like I could talk about this game all day long and just not say anything bad about it, but I'm sure it's not everyone's cup of tea, but dude, it's such a good game.
Man, this category is really hard because we even touch on Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac came out. Afterbirth, the expansion to Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth came out on PC this year, and it just took Binding of Isaac and added 200 some weapons to it, new bosses, new modes, all sorts of amazing stuff. The guy even went out and made a real life quest for people to figure out so they could unlock the final boss, which was insane. That he's did it like and executed it perfectly, where people had to figure out all these like secret little codes and stuff like that, and then led them to a place where they had to dig up a little Binding of Isaac doll that they buried and had all these like writings on it. And then once they figured that out, it unlocked a Twitter account that they got the password to the Twitter account. Once someone tweeted out something from that Twitter account, they locked the account and then unlocked the in-game content for you to use. Because they didn't want people to hack into the game and figure out how to get it, because that's what they did last time and ruined his.
So they kind of just did a little patch.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's
So like that way there was no way to get to it unless they patched it, which was awesome because he was so irritated that people hacked the game and unlocked the hardest thing that he created and spent time. So I thought that was neat. So I mean, kudos for an indie dude, like to come out.
I've seen you guys play Binding of Isaac, and I've seen you guys play for a long time.
4th of July weekend, you guys played it every minute of the weekend, I think.
No,
you like were like, I'm up, Binding of Isaac, and you're playing it, and you're like barely awake. It's like coffee, you guys.
But that was before Afterbirth. But I mean, yeah, the Binding of Isaac game, like if you haven't played it, dude, it's such a good game.
I've never
like,
seen a game affect anyone like that game has affected you guys.
Yeah, even Jeremy is like just obsessed with it.
He got a PS4, so he can play it on his PS4.
It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. How do we root against that?
Oh man,
How do you root against Undertale?
because
Or Rocket League?
I would say we could root against Binding of Isaac because Afterbirth is just built on it, and like a lot of the items they added weren't that fun to use. Like they were just kind of neat and like funny. Like a lot of babies that you got like to use in co-op.
Got it.
The greed mode I beat on my first try, so it wasn't like super tough. Like it, maybe it is, but it just didn't add like it was a neat mode, but it just didn't build like it. I love the game, so I'm just gonna say it's good, but it just didn't add too much that's game changing because I still would go back to the other stuff and use the other game probably more than I would use Afterbirth.
Unlock Axiom Verge off.
Yeah,
It was good, but I don't think it like lives up to what else with the other stuff we have on here if we're trying to whittle.
Undertale sounds like it made a really big splash with as far as encompassing new things into a game.
yeah, I was
It's surprising you.
dude blown away. I was gonna say blown away by the combat of it, like a traditional like classic RPG with like just a new little thing in the combat, man. Like it engaged me a lot more than I think it would have if I just like slapped at the keys and like just get fight.
I love that it made iconic characters and like this weird.
It
all
did.
of a sudden I have
Sans.
these characters that I won't forget.
Sans and Seraph, I think that guy's name was, because that was the text that they used to like type out, like it was in sans serif, which was hilarious to me and funny. And like the characters you cared about, you could save. You didn't have to kill your bosses. You could befriend them, dude. And it's like, what game could I do that in before? It didn't care what you did. You killed them or you befriended them, and like it would change based on that. And like a lot of games say that they would do that. This game did it.
Yeah.
Like
It did it so well.
Yeah.
Like, the music in that game is so good too. Party Hard I would be okay with getting off. We love that game, but it's a little repetitive and
It's got an ending point where it's like, I don't really want to play anymore.
that's before the game actually ends.
yeah,
Which is kind of a
I think we were 4 stages in, and I was like, all right,
Yeah, I got
I
it.
had
It's
fun.
great.
Got my thirst of it.
yeah, dude, I had fun. I go back to it every once in a while, but yeah, I think Undertale I would probably spend more. And SteamWorld Heist, man,
And Rocket League.
and Rocket League.
I mean, Rocket League just lit the entire world on fire.
It did.
We all had fun with it. It's great.
It created like a phenomenon almost. Like it has its own esports league now. Like it just got so ridiculously huge, just made by a small like.
It's
team of
weird to
dudes.
go with that best indie game when it's like no longer seems like an indie game.
It feels like a blockbuster game, like just like a big hit, dude. Like like by a big studio. Like you feel like EA would have control of it or something like
Probably
that.
will.
You
They
know,
probably
like,
will by Rocket League too. It'll be published by E EA.
like you just it just was so good, so polished, and felt it just felt
Yeah.
big time, and it hit so
SteamWorld
hard.
Heist. Oh, I love it. I love it so much, and it came out in so little, and it's so great.
Yeah, that's a game that came out and captured my heart. Undertale was amazing and brilliantly executed. It didn't capture my interest. Like I don't know. I didn't want to go back and play it a second time.
I want SteamWorld Heights to win this category because
I want
I
it to
love
win.
that game. Like the second I put it in, I fell in love with that game. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with the gameplay.
I almost bought it
I
for
love the
every
music.
Nintendo 3DS here in the studio, dude. I was gonna start downloading on every one of them.
There's just so much to like about that game, and I could see myself going back and playing it again because the combat mechanics are so strong.
And the 3D on it.
The
I didn't
3D
even
is
talk
actually
about
good. We don't even like
works.
3D.
I hate 3D stuff on games like that, but it worked. Like it's just like the colors and the layers and stuff like that. And it's probably the first game where I stopped in the bar and I was like listening to the music, and I had like, hey, listen to this, check this out, this is cool. Like the music even caught me, and the battle system is so good. Like there's just so many things to it. Loot and challenges and bosses. The boss fights.
Yeah,
are
those
kinda
challenge
neat, dude.
levels are really great. Oh man, so SteamWorld Heist, Rocket League, Undertale. Which one's gonna go?
Gosh, dude, it's such a tough grab right now, man.
Rocket League feels too big, but it's not. That's the
It's
problem.
Totally indie, but it's
It's
got
totally
this aura.
fair to give it to it.
Yeah, it would be. I'm gonna vote SteamWorld Heist for myself, and then we can kind of go from there. 'Cause
I think I'm gonna vote Undertale.
it's good. It's a good game, dude. Tristan.
Did you love Undertale more than SteamWorld Heist?
I'm trying to I have only had SteamWorld Heist just came out,
It's so
right?
fresh,
so
right?
it's so fresh. I feel like I have to wait my decision on that one. Be like, what will I feel about that in a month? That's where I'm at with that. It's a really hard thing to do because I could love it even more in a month.
That is a good question, Tristan. What are you thinking, man? I know what you're thinking.
I think it's definitely between Undertale and SteamWorld Heist.
I buy Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League, you did great this year. Don't take anything personal. You know,
But that's
awesome.
going to graduate past indie pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, it was a phenomenal indie game, dude. So was Undertale, and I remember calling Jeremy over and dude, you gotta come check this out. This is super rad. And he came over and he's like, whoa, dude, this is cool. And we played it. We sat there and played together, just going through it and taking turns and stuff like that.
It's a tough
This
choice.
is the silence of thinking.
Yeah, I know, dude. We gotta take a moment and think. Well, we gotta start cracking at it. I guess.
I'd be going Undertale just from it's got more traction going. We know sounds like we know more about it and your experiences with it.
I think I have to go Undertale because it's so unfair to go because SteamWorld Heist came out at the end of the year. It doesn't seem fair to just knock it because of that.
No, dude, totally. But
And I love it. I love everything about that game so far. I'm going to vote SteamWorld Heists. Because I just remember the way I felt when I first played it. I think I texted you after 2 missions.
dude, you're you gotta check it out. And then I was like, holy crap, well, how did I miss this? This is amazing. And and not taking anything from Undertale, it's got amazing branching storylines and all this layer to it that it hasn't been done before. But SteamWorld Heist, man, just sucked me in. Came out of nowhere. The graphics, the art style is totally me, and that's what I love. And so it just really, and the gameplay is it's perfect, not perfect, but it's so good because each of these weapons have different abilities and the ricochets and the physics in it are really neat and
Yeah,
It's
it has to be
such a-
SteamWorld Heist for me. I know that in 6 months I'm still gonna be like the shit out of that game.
SteamWorld Heist it is then.
SteamWorld Heist. All right, there you guys have it. Thank you for joining us for the best games of 2015 and the best indie game for 2015, SteamWorld Heist with Undertale coming in very, very close second. Very good game.
Wasn't even close.
Not even a shot in hell, dude. Robots win every time, dude. Nice try, Undertale. You got your skeletons. Yeah.